Hi, my name's Jen. Welcome to my channel, All My Plants. Today's video, not plant chores. I still have some, but believe it or not, everything is mostly watered, mostly repotted. I still have some plants that I wanted to chop up and some Hoyas that need trellising, things like that, but I just don't have it in me to do it today. I've got to take my cat to the vet here shortly. But I do have some updates, some things that we recently repotted, chopped, extended, etc. So we're going to go through those. Oh, and some stuff that's going sideways, maybe a little sideways. But yeah, let's check them out. If you've been watching a while, I think everybody expected this one. This is the new leaf on the Clarinervium pterodactyl magnificum. It shredded itself. I did repot it while it was putting this leaf out, to be fair. Actually, my daughter did. But, yeah, so that's not great. Also, it's got yellow, like this weird yellow spot on it. It had spider mites in between then and now. It's not having a great time still. It's never had a great time with me. It's never had a great time, as far as I know, in its entire existence. When I got it, it was like a seedling that I had gotten from someone, rehab seedling. And it's just, its entire life has been that, so crunchy. Yeah, so hopefully in the future, the next leaf might be better than that. We'll see. In the cabinet there, I've got the Hoyas. Some of them are in the little terrarium down there. I don't know if you can see it. It's on a little table, kind of. Yeah, you can see the top of it right about there. Hoya obovata and variegated. These were cuttings. There's a little bit of root on this side. It's 2 cuttings in here. I think there might have been 3, but that one died. This is a 1-leaf cutting, and then the rest of those leaves are all 1 cutting. But yay, it's rooting. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of growth or anything else happening, but I'll take what I can get. Because this is the last I have of this plant, is this. It just never really was growing great. I can't remember why I started it over. Probably because it wasn't doing much. I don't know. Seems okay. I'm just going to keep waiting longer. The Philodendron Bobsea variegated. This came out of a prop box, I'm pretty sure, a couple months ago. And I'd stuck it in moss and in the cabinet, hoping to get roots. I don't know if you'll be able to see. They're the same color as the moss, pretty much. But there's some here and there throughout there now. There's one right up there. Maybe you can see it, not sure. I'm going to get this potted up very, very soon. Bobsea gets big really fast. This plant was enormous. I don't know if anybody remembers when I chopped it up around this time, maybe last year. It had some cosmetic issues. I'm not sure if it was pest damage or if it was just heavy EFN, but all of the leaves were speckly. And I didn't want to look at that. Regardless of what was going on with it, I didn't want to look at 3-foot-long leaves that were just hideous. I can't explain it any other way. It's a pretty plant. Like, I don't know if you can see the variegation on there. It's interesting. The newer leaves here are lighter in color. These are both new, or new-ish. And they're both putting out, there's 2 plants in here now. They're both putting out new leaves currently as well. It just didn't have many roots when I pulled it out of the prop box. And I see some, but not as many as I would have expected after a few months in moss. It's kind of dry, not terribly. But I think either way, it's attached to a chunk down in here, which I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's right there. Maybe. Oh, there's 3. That there is a teeny tiny one. Those little bitty leaves are another 3rd plant. I don't know. So I tried to get moss around these because it was like a root coming from the chunk still. And I don't want to pot up the chunk. I want to pot the plants standalone because I'll get rid of one. The cat is in the cabinet. Shade. Thanks. I'll pot one up and keep it, and then the other one I'll probably give to somebody, you know, because they're, like I said, they're massive. They get massive, and fairly quickly, considering that this was just started over with no leaves, no nothing. It was just a piece of chunk, less than a year ago. So, yeah, I don't know, but I need to get that potted up. It's on the to-do list. It's got some roots of its own now, I assume. And it can't go on living in here forever. The Anthurium vitarifolium, there's no roots in here. And I think the last time I pulled it out, it had done absolutely nothing. But I was looking at it yesterday, and it's got a little nub in. It's finally doing a root. So, it was on the bottom shelf of this cabinet behind me, but it's cold down there. It's, you know, cold next to the floor. So I moved it up a shelf because this cabinet is basically a heater. And that's when the roots started to actually grow on this. It's the saddest little thing. This leaf is going to go soon too, but the growth point still looks okay. And there appears to be a second one coming out. I'm not sure what's going on down there really. But it was slow to do anything. Still slowly doing whatever it's doing. But oddly enough, this is the base of the plant. It's got a tiny little leaf. Can you see it? It's just the smallest little boop. That happened pretty quick for a stump. It is the entire stump and root system in here. And that definitely happened faster than that's growing a root. But I don't see any new root growth in this pot. I put it in a clear pot when I cut it. And I see, that's just the tag there. I see nothing happening in there. Which, I don't know. I don't expect a lot to happen with one little bitty leaf, but, you know, at least it's not dying yet. There's still time for things to go horribly wrong. I'm just convinced, I have it in my head that if I keep with it long enough, someday I'll have a nice vitarifolium. That is the ultimate goal there. And then in line with Anthurium's not doing so great, this, it still is, Anthurium corduroy by Dark Phoenix. And it put this leaf out since it's been here. It's looking pretty ragged now. But it's also tried to put out more leaves, and this is what they do. They just die. They fail. There was another one here, but that one there was really crunchy, so it just fell off. This is the newest crunchy one. And it's got another one, I don't know if you can see there, that little green squiggle. That is the tip of a leaf trying to come from the petiole there. And it's switching to, oops, switching to cataphyll growth now. Can you see the point? So the leaves, instead of coming from the previous leaf, will come from a cataphyll from here on out. I don't know if that'll make this better or worse for this plant. Also, it was growing, I don't know if that's going to quit now, a secondary growth point down here, which is unusual, but okay. Okay. I don't know why I can't get a nice leaf on this plant. I was, when they were in the, well, when it was in the IKEA cabinet, the Detolf, whatever it's called, this tall, slim glass cabinet here. It's not as hot, and that's the only difference I can think of. The light intensity is pretty similar. It's a little less in there than it is in this bigger cabinet, but it's definitely cooler, like significantly cooler. And I'm wondering if I should put it back in there. It's not any more humid or anything like that. It's got more air gaps. I just pulled that, what was left of that leaf off there. I'm not sure, like the roots that you can see in here, if they'll focus or if we can get past the glare, they're green. And they're fine. But, you know, everything on the bottom part of the pot, everything in the pot seems to be going just fine. It's topside. Topside things aren't going great. I think I'm going to try it in the other cabinet, just because it's cooler, like I say. I need to repot it, but I'm on a pot buying ban. I've spent a lot of money on pots lately, and I really don't have the money to continue to do that. It's not sustainable. So, I don't know, I'm just going to wait a while on that. But I'm going to put it in this other cabinet where it's cooler and see if that makes a difference with the next leaf, I guess. Another one that is constantly growing wonky is this Blue Pap by Warocqueanum. Blue Papillolemonum. This leaf was already on here. It is bent at a weird angle, but it's on here. It came even at the weird angle. It was at a weirder angle, but it's kind of straightened out just a smidge since it's been here. Then it put out this one, bent at a weird angle, curved back on itself, and with some weird issues. And that's actually gotten worse. This yellow you see around the veining, that has gotten worse over time. Then it put out this leaf, and this is as good as it got, all crumpled up. It looks like it's been without water. It's not. It's never been without water. It has been maybe slightly on the drier side, but usually when a leaf's coming out, I'm pretty on top of that. But it is instantly putting out another one. Like, very quick succession, these leaves are coming in. But I would like to get one that's nice. Not this. This would be fine. The leaf has downsized even. I don't know what the issue is. Once again, maybe it's the heat. Don't know. I think I just repotted this one not too long ago, and I don't think I see any roots in here. I don't. I don't know. I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer. One more leaf in this cabinet, and we'll see how that goes, I guess. When I say that the plants in there are putting out leaves super rapidly, oop, it killed one off, the oldest leaf on there. I'm not kidding. This is Anthurium Pepilabla Legend. It put out 2 leaves at the same time. This one, which is still soft, and this one, which is still soft. Within a few days of each other, they were popping out of there. And mind you, this one wasn't really, it's grown, I think, this one, since it was here. And I'm not saying it took a long time to do that or anything, but it was taking its time. Not a long time, but its time. But then it just spit out the 2, and I haven't repotted this. I could use a little bit of water, I guess. I see no roots. It's not dry, though. I don't know. Oh yeah, I see. Nope. Is that a root? No, that's just perlite that's turned green. I did unpot this and then put it right back in here at some point because it didn't have hardly any root at all, if I recall. Maybe it's finally growing roots and that's why it's decided to, like, really kick into gear? I don't know. I'm happy though. It doesn't mind the heat. This is the Drissleri Gunoyala. And this is the leaf that it's put out since it's been here. It's a little, ew. But to be fair, the first one was stuck really badly. The first one it tried to put out was stuck. And it broke itself. So the tip of the petiole in this one was broke, but I'm surprised we didn't lose the tip of the leaf because of that. But we did get just a smidge of damage. But she's pretty. She's pretty. The color and the sheen. Ooh, ah. So yeah, this is another one that doesn't seem to mind the heat in there. I can see roots in this pot. And it's been here a month or so now. Maybe a little bit over, not sure. I'm sorry, I know it's like really hard to see through this. It's like milk, I'm like trying to look through milk. It's not that bad. Yeah, I don't know. Happy. My daughter has one of these because it was 2 in the same pot, and when I repotted them, I separated them out. She has one, hers put out its first leaf like chef's kiss perfectly, but this is the first one I've gotten out of mine. Hers should probably be on its second now. I don't know, I haven't talked to her since Thanksgiving, so. But it's so pretty. Sorry, we're staring at the same leaf forever. This is another one, I don't know what it's doing. It's got roots all throughout this pot already. I put it in here probably a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now. I'm trying to find some of the roots you can actually kind of see. Maybe you can spot some. Just here and there's little boops. Some are green, some are more white. What did I say what this is? Fort Sherman by Darkest Panama, which I do like this plant. This leaf it put out since it's been here. Then it put out this one in the cabinet, all curved back on itself, like deeply curved back on itself, and a little smaller, but maybe I was just messing with it, or that's what I told myself. And then it put out this one, this little bitty thing here, and that's hardened off. It's been there for a few days, or it's mostly hardened off. I don't think it's going to do much else. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing this. I water, or I fertilize with every watering. Very rarely do I just not. Usually I do flush my plants, even in soil. Is that a thrip? Is this explaining my problems? I don't know, I can't tell. Let's use the viewfinder as a magnifying glass. No, it was soil. Okay, anyway. I fertilize with every watering. I do flush pond, leca, and soil, meaning I just really saturate the pot till the water runs through. And I do that maybe once a month, just plain water. Actually, it's filtered water, but whatever. About once a month that I do that. But every other time, if there's water going in the pot, it's got fertilizer in it. I don't know. I don't think it's a fertilizer issue. How did I get this plant so dirty? Let me check the other leaves. No. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Like, it's not, I mean, that's fine. The plant is fine putting out leaves like that if that's what it really feels like it has to do. But I am slightly concerned. It's also putting out another growth point right down in there. Let's see if we can get the leaves out of the way. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's activated another bud right down in that, like inside the sheath of that petiole. It is in cataphyll growth now, which is strange. I don't know. It has been for the last 2 leaves, so maybe that's part of the issue. This was the last leaf that came from the previous petiole. This was the first one that came from its own cataphyll. I don't know. I'll just wait longer and see, but I don't know a ton about different Anthurium. So yeah, Fort Sherman, Darkest Panama, and it's seed grown, it says on here. I guess to let me know it's not a clone of anything. It's from a seed. I don't know. Just wait longer. This is the Luxuriance Crystallinum, and it had this leaf really, really stuck, but I did spray it with alcohol to loosen it up and help it pop out of there. And it did. It's a little bit scrunkled, but not bad. Look at the color. The color and the sheen, once again. That's tasty. Do I see roots? No roots in this guy yet. I'm not so worried about it because, like I said, this has been here a month or so. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I unboxed them in a video not too terribly long ago. But yeah, I really hope this texture that was on this one, I don't know if you can tell, comes back on future leaves. Since this is the first one that it put out in my care, and it is a little bit damaged, I'm not overly worried that it doesn't have that texture, but I'm hoping that it persists on future leaves. It has some texture, it's just a little weird, you know. So this is the Anthurium Delta Force, which is doing okay. I think I said last time we were talking about it that I should keep this a little bit on the drier side. And I thought that because it just didn't have much root growth, which seems strange. Don't water if you want root growth. But I'd been keeping it on the wetter side, and the roots hadn't really done a whole lot. So, and I don't really see anything new going on in its pants. But up here I can see a little white chunker right there growing, so that's good. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to dig it out of there and check on it or anything, but as long as it looks good, it looks good. I'm keeping it slightly drier. It's wet right now because I just watered it, but the oldest leaf, excuse me, is still hanging in there. It's not crisped up anywhere at all, and it's putting out a newer leaf. I'm just letting it dry a little bit more than I typically do other Anthurium. I'm letting it dry to about the same point that I let my Clarinervium dry. Because I think the Clarinervium prefers to dry out a little bit. Especially like in comparison to my other Anthurium. I don't know. Don't judge my Clarinervium based on that statement, because mine looks pretty rough right now. I did just repot it, and it was outside the greenhouse where it got fried. It got eaten by insects. I think it got spider mite, like everything has happened to it. And it's also trying to produce seeds, which is it still? Yeah, it is still. I'll bring that over because we repotted that not too long ago. See if it's got spider mites again yet. That, and I cut a large portion of the chunk off of this plant. I'm looking to see if I see roots or anything happening down there really. Not a ton. I just watered it yesterday as well. I do see a little root trying to do its thing right there. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark in here. The leaves don't look any better or any worse yet. I did trim on this one some because a lot of them had some major crisping. The inflow still hanging out right there. I was surprised it didn't dry and come off. This was the newest leaf, and I'm not sure why we've got this going on. Maybe because I cut most of its roots off. Have no idea. Like a huge portion of the roots left this. Enough that when I potted the other portion of the plant up, it went into this exact same pot. This exact same size. This is a 7-inch pot. So, I don't know. And that stump is just sitting there doing nothing. But it's not rotting, so yay for that. Yay for that. But yeah, Clarinervium looks okay, considering that I really traumatized it. A lot of my cuttings are probably ready to be potted up, like the Philodendron atabapoense, the Philodendron bicolor, Philodendron Florida green. They've been rooting for a few weeks, so maybe even a month now on some of them. So this is the atabapoense. It was such a nice plant. But it was starting to look a little rough. A lot of the leaves were like this. I didn't love the pole I had it on. There was multiple reasons why I cut it. I will put it back on a pole. The base of it's still on a pole upstairs. But it was time. It was time. That and I think the top growth had started to downsize again, because it wasn't grabbing the pole. It wasn't well supported, but we've got some roots. I don't know how well we're focusing, and a new little growth point. So yay for that. And I think most of them kind of look similar. One of them down here apparently has some secondary roots. So any rot has been minimal. I haven't actually done anything with these particular cuttings since I put them in here. Just looked at them and went, yep, that looks cool. Oh, I think it's there's one of the bicolor in here. Let's see if I can get it out. This one. There's not a lot happening with that growth point just yet, but there's some root action, so I'll take it. There's more cuttings of that somewhere as well. One was semi-rotted and I trimmed it, and the other was just rooting. So I'm gonna pot those up pretty soon. All of these up, and I won't be keeping all of them. No way, Jose. You need a fresh battery. My little lipstick plant, Aschenanthus something or other, Aschenanthus radicans, Mona Lisa, has decided to flower. It's so cute. I love the little dark flowers, and I can't get a good angle on it, but it does have like a little yellow center down in there. brighter colored center. We're not going to be able to see that. But dang, because it's cute. And it's constantly growing right now. Maybe it likes the cooler weather. I don't know. And it's not in front of the heater. It's kind of off in the corner on top of my bookshelf. Yay! I love this plant. It's just very pretty. It's just very pretty. It's nothing, you know, no bells and whistles really. Even the flowers aren't that much of a bell or whistle. But I really do like the, oh yeah, you can kind of see the little yellow center in one of them. I like the dark color. They're fuzzy. They're fuzzy. It's cute. It's just cute. It's a well-behaved plant. It just kind of sits there unassumingly and then occasionally flowers. I like it. I think the only other lipstick plant I've ever had has been the black pagoda. No, that's a lie. Years and years and years ago, I had a variegated lipstick plant, and that one did flower quite a bit outside. But the one that flowered most recently for me was the black pagoda lipstick plant, and they're green. They're very understated, very inconspicuous. So it's, you know, I missed it half the time. I'd just be picking dead flowers out of the pot, and I'd be like, where'd these come from? I don't even remember seeing it flower. It was that kind. But yeah, so I like the little pop of color on this one. It's a little tiny, tiny pop of color. This is currently the only orchid I have in my collection. It's Phalaenopsis orchid. And I might have mentioned recently that I need to repot it. I really, really do. It's not in this pot. It's in this pot. Which I know a lot of people like the extra aeration for orchids. I find that I need a solid pot, or they just don't get watered well enough. They don't get well enough hydrated. But it could use a repot. You know, the roots are kind of crazy in there. And I just pot my orchids into dirty moss with bark, perlite, whatever mixed in. I take a bunch of stuff, mix it all together with a whole bunch of wet moss, shove it in a pot with the orchid. It's off center at this point. I don't know if it fell over, if it just kind of started leaning in that direction. It's made itself a friend. That's two in here now. This is one, and then this is one, the bigger one. It hasn't flowered in probably 4 or 5 years. I can't even remember what color the flowers were. It's been that long. Some of the roots are definitely not doing anything for the plant at this point. Some of them are trying to crawl out of the pot. It just needs a repot really bad, and I don't know. It's cakey. That's what it's called. I was saying there's some fancy word. I think it was in a members video, my last members video, that I was saying, yeah, there's a fancy word for it when an orchid makes a pup or an offshoot, but I couldn't remember it. Cakey. That's the word that I was trying to come up with. It's only been a week and a half. It took me to come up with that. But yeah, that's the only time this orchid has done it. And I've had this orchid for, like I said, years. 8 years, maybe, something like that. And it did flower pretty steadily, but not in a while. Not in a while. I don't think since I've repotted it, this particular repot. It's been repot before. Because it actually used to live directly in one of these, and it didn't go well. There's a root in the bottom of it. I'm guessing I broke that off at some point when I watered it. It's a dried up root. But anyway, point being, I don't know if I should separate the little plantlet. I don't know if it has any roots of its own. I guess we won't be able to tell until we get in there. But I'm going to repot it into the same thing. Just freshen it up, center it up, maybe a slightly larger pot. I think this is a 5-inch pot that it's in. So maybe if I can find a 6-inch. I don't really need to see the roots on an orchid, but it's convenient because I can see how dry the moss is, like through the pot, without really having to jam my fingers down in there. I guess I don't need that either, because I don't really go by how wet or dry the moss is. Because by the time I get to it, it's bone dry every time. Every time. I don't know. The peace lily I had ordered from Green Escape, and they sent me a regular green peace lily, but I had ordered Spathiphyllum sensation variegated or something like that. This was the leaf that it's put out since it's been here. And it was quite a bit whiter than that, but what I've noticed is it kind of fades to green from the tip of the leaf down toward the petiole, which, okay, that's different. That's different. But it seems to be doing fine. I mean, it's been a tough little plant, so. And we've got a little bit of new root growth. Maybe you can see the little white streak there. Here and there throughout the pot I can see some trying. So, yay for that. I don't know. Not much to say about it other than, yay, I guess it's the right plant. And the new leaf is also very white. That's getting ready to come in. So that's what this one looked like. Like it was just white. But as it was opening and unfurling, I could see it changing to green. It was very strange. Very strange. But okay, kind of like a Florida ghost type thing on this plant. I don't know. I like it though. I do like it. I like a good peace lily. I'll show you the one that they sent that was not this one. The one that was the incorrect plant. They just let me keep this one. I mean, it's you know, it's a peace lily. It's okay. It's very, it's a leggy peace lily, I guess is what I'll say. Like I have a few peace lilies and none of them really have this very long petiole. Is this, I don't know what kind it is. You know what I mean? Because they sent it to me as the wrong plant. I'm assuming it's going to be a much larger peace lily than any other one I have in my collection. It's also a very dirty peace lily. What kitty? My cat's down here crying at me. Not the one who has to go to the vet, but Shade. The one who was in the greenhouse cabinet, in the cabinet, whatever you call it. But yeah, it seems alright. It seems to be doing fine. It's very thirsty. I should probably already repot it the way it's behaving. I don't know. I don't know. But it's okay. I do love my peace lilies. Dramatic though they be. Now he's scratching my wall. So yeah, it's fine. Everything is fine here. Shit, I forgot this one. I keep walking around and seeing plants that I meant to mention and forgot about. This was the top of the Global Green Pothos. Actually, I just repotted last member's video. I just potted some cuttings from this plant, like insurance cuttings. And I don't know why I took insurance cuttings, because the base of the plant is still alive and reshooting. This is the top of the plant. It's just about ready for an extension. And I only just cut it. I think this leaf has come out since I cut it, and this little bitty leaf here, which looks to be downsized quite a bit. But to be fair, it's not really, I don't know if you can tell, it's not really grabbing the moss pole. It is further down, and that's what's keeping it up against it, and the moss pole is damp. It's just not really in there. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's lack of humidity, probably. The drier air, maybe it's lower light, maybe it's because it's cold on the floor and this plant sits on the floor. Not sure. It didn't have any roots when I stuck it in this pot, and it still doesn't look to have any in the pot. The roots were in the pole, so maybe a few were hanging down toward the pot, but not a lot. But it's sustaining. Like, the plant feels fine, even though it doesn't necessarily have a lot of root. It's been a few weeks. I would have expected to see some root in the pot by now, I guess is what I'm saying. But I don't. Not one. Don't know. A little nervous. I really do like my Global Green Pothos. And while we're talking about pole plants, this is the Gisenia. Epipremnum Gisenia, marble. Nope. I was going to call it Marble Queen. Pothos. Gisenia Pothos, which is still growing. That's a nice leaf there that it's put out. There are three. One has never made it up the pole, way down here, and then these two up here have run up. This one here is not quite on the extension yet. This one here is. But same problem. It's not really grabbing it up there. Not sure why. Like anywhere? Oh no, there's a few roots lower down, like really right where the extension starts, which is here. it's rooted just above that into the pole. I don't know. I don't know. I mention it because as soon as this one is up there as well, I'd like to cut it and drop it and put it in a pot. I don't want to go any higher than two poles. This is already 2 poles, you know. So it did have a little bit of trouble outside this winter, this summer. This was outside. I think all of the plants on poles were outside. It's just a lot easier to maintain and work with them out there. I don't have to worry so much about making a mess. I don't know. I don't know why it's not grabbing. Or it is, I guess, but not like I think it should be. I really want roots at every node, and I'm not getting that on that plant, or really the global green at this point. Not sure what to do about that. Maybe really make sure I'm on top of the watering? I don't know. I haven't quite experienced that. So either they just don't grab ever, or they grab right in and I never have another problem. So these grabbed right in, but now I'm having a problem. I don't know. I don't know. Plants on poles. But yeah, I think that's it. I just wanted to mention those last go off because not sure what's going on there either. Not sure what to do to correct that problem other than literally strap them on at every node and really keep the pole saturated. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I've got to round up my little cat. It's the little one-eyed cat that I call Pee-Pee. Her name's actually Lenore. The vet's office calls her Helen Keller. Her hearing is fine. It's just selective. But yeah, she's got, I don't know, something going on. She looks mangy all of a sudden, and she doesn't go outside to where she could pick up something like that, unless they just spontaneously find a mite in your house. I have no idea, but she looks awful. She's miserable, and she's got to go to the vet. So I've got to round her up in her pet carrier, and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go do that. Oh, still don't have my Christmas tree up. It is noon on December 4th. I'm going to put it up eventually. What, a week before Christmas at this point? I don't know. I have no motivation. I'm tired. I have no motivation. I have no will to seasonal. I just don't have it. That, and I guess it's obvious that I'm not doing Vlogmas this year. Or at least I'm not doing a video every day of December, Christmas season. Normally I do try. I think I did pretty good 2 years out of the years that I've been doing this. But yeah, I'm not doing that. I will put out extra videos, but I'm not gonna have the time to do a video every day. I don't even have a day to record them all in advance and then post them, you know, on the appropriate day. So, you know, we're gonna wing it and see how it goes. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go round up this cat and get her to the vet. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.